Okay. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg. Episode 431, apparently. Yeah, so we're playing a little bit of Deep Rock Galactic here, just solo. Let's keep it pretty chill, I guess. Some friends and I recently finished up a playthrough of Factorio. We were thinking about what to play next, and we had played Deep Rock Galactic a while back. We all really enjoyed it. It's a really just great four-person co-op game. If you have a group of four, I highly recommend it.
Sending you in deep, so be on your guard. Scanners indicate particularly rich veins of morkite and gold further down. Back, boys.
And so we're gonna get back to it. So yesterday I was just like, all right, let me fire it up by myself just to get back in the swing of things. And then I just never stopped playing. So, you know, here I am. It's certainly far better with four than it is solo. And you could just join up with random people, but you know, I don't like doing stuff like that.
You snooze, you lose. Bosco, mine it.
Anywho. This was my first week of vacation. My big January vacation. And, yeah, it's been nice. It's been quite nice overall. I mean, in some ways, it's not that different than my normal routine, you know, being as someone that works from home in general. It's not like, oh, I don't have to go into work. Yeah. But, yeah, just not having to think about it at all, not having to think about how this video is going to come together, not thinking about the editing. I mean, that was the big thing. Like, that whole... just not having to edit for a month is great.
Stop them dead.
So, overall, it's been pretty damn good. Whether or not I make it 4 weeks without working on something really depends on if I become hopelessly addicted to a game or not. So when I'm not addicted to a game and I'm just like sitting here, that's when it's like, I don't mind working that much. Something to do. But yeah, if I'm addicted to a game, it's like fuck everything. Just let me sit here. So, you know, we'll see. I have Final Fantasy XIV all set up pretty much to continue recording that at some point.
It's a mystery to me how all these minerals fit inside.
But yeah, for now, just chilling. And I really didn't even like record much Let's Plays this week or anything. It was just kind of a nothing week. Do I happen to know anything about the audio drama Case 63 on Spotify? You kept hearing about it as an ad during my vids on there. No, sad to say I don't. I don't really listen to anything like audio. I think I've gone over that. Like, I don't listen to podcasts or anything. Like, I don't know. It's just not something I ever. The only time I ever did it was when I was working like a more normal job of like physical labor, and I had earbuds in, and it was like, okay, I can actually just listen to something other than music. But I'm just sitting here. It's like, why would I listen to something when I could watch something? Julianne Moore and Oscar Isaac. Short, not bad. Strangely, the SCP website comes up halfway through. Like within the drama, they mention SCP, or Oscar Isaac? Exactly. Wow. That's pretty damn intriguing. Now, when you say short, how short are you talking?
Go fetch.
9 episodes, less than 15 minutes each. Wow. I might actually have to take a look at this, take a listen to this. I mean, I could just, like, I guess put it on when I'm playing a game and probably get engrossed. Huh. I mean, SCP is. It's not about S. No, I didn't assume it was about SCP, but yeah, SCP is fairly popular, I guess. It's just. I was just talking about that with some family members. Gosh, how did that conversation start? Fuck. I was with Lego and his wife, Ellie, and I don't know what we were talking about. It was something about, she said that she'd never heard of something because she's never heard anyone talk about it in a conversation. Oh, we might have been talking about SCP or something. Oh, I think I was griping. I was griping in general that, like, it's tough for my content as far as, like, YouTube recommendations goes, because, oh yes, because I got a comment. I happened to see a comment on an exploring video yesterday. It was like, it was the Demon Ogier Part 1, and it was a comment that was like, is this an audio book? Is this a web series? What is this?
Deep Rock seriously need to invest in some.
And it was just like, you know, big YouTube videos and big YouTubers and their videos that go more viral than their other ones. It's because, like, it's a general topic that you don't really need to know any background info for. You know, you're almost never going to see, like, basically like a part 7 of a series being, like, heavily recommended. It just doesn't really happen that way, because the whole idea is that people can come in without any sort of background information and enjoy the video. That is not Demon Ogier Part 1. I mean, that's a really kind of niche part of SCP lore. And that's what a lot of my SCP content is, just kind of deep dive stuff. The Ouroboros cycle gets recommended a lot, and it's my most viewed video because it kind of is self-contained. I mean, it's long enough to be self-contained.
Action time. A swarm will be upon you shortly.
But yeah, I mean, thinking back to like when I used to have videos that just suddenly spiked in popularity due to recommendations, it was stuff like the Blair Witch video, or my video on dragons in mythology, or werewolves. You know, it was just like general stuff that almost anybody could appreciate and understand.
Eliminate.
A lot of the younger kids that work for you are fans of the site. Few of them know who I am as well. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can't complain too much with where I'm at and everything, but I just think about the big, huge channels, the multi-million channels that get huge views on all their videos, and it's all like just generally enjoyable stuff. Like you look at Mr. Beast or something. I don't want to be Mr. Beast, but he does not operate within a niche, you know? You don't need to know shit going into a Mr. Beast video to enjoy it, theoretically. And I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna switch to 40K. I'm gonna have basically the same issue. I think it's a larger fan base somewhat, but, or it will be, but it's still like pretty deep, nerdy shit. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever really achieve any sort of YouTube stardom by making that kind of content. I mean, even the biggest 40K YouTuber currently, I don't know who that is exactly, but that's not, even they are not like huge in the in you know, relatively.
Help me mine this.
Yeah. A lot more people are talking about 40K lately, maybe on the cusp of being bigger. Yeah, I know, and part of that is the Henry Cavill and the show and all that, and 40K is finally coming out with some good games and stuff, and I think Games Workshop is starting to come to terms with, like, they're not just here to sell miniatures, you know, like 40K can be a lot bigger than that. I mean, honestly, I wish a company would just come in and like buy the rights to 40K. I don't know what company exactly, but I question if Games Workshop can really handle 40K as like a global media franchise. But either way, the fact that it's getting bigger and more popular is part of why I want to switch over to it again.
You shouldn't need precious minerals to get you killed.
Hot damn. Look at all that gold.
Bag's full. Can't carry anymore.
That's a lot of gold.
Mine it. I got the deposit.
Anywho, part of the reason I didn't record a lot this week was due to some microphone troubles, I guess. It started with my audio interface breaking, like just producing like non-stop static.
Sort this stuff.
Apparently this was due to something related to the phantom power and like unplugging a microphone while the phantom power was on or something. I don't know. I could have sworn I've done that plenty of times before, but yeah, so now that just
That's it. Bag's full.
it could be, I mean, noise suppression is good enough that that could be usable still with
I was made
noise suppression on, but
for hauling.
you'd hear kind of static in the background regardless, and I was like, I don't like that. So I ordered a new audio interface, and then I was like, you know, I got this Heil PR40 microphone that I bought years back and only briefly used for the Exploring series.
Help me with the minute.
Light is up.
And it's like, this really is a $350 microphone. It should be amazing. Why can't I get this shit to work?
Makes Molly constantly get in the way.
So I was like, okay, I need to order a couple new parts, like a shock mount for it and a new microphone arm, because mine, it's like 8 years old. I bought for $30 and it's shit. So I ordered a couple accessories for the Heil PR40, and I was like, all right, this should all be good. I get it all together, and it just does not get enough gain. Like, even cranked as far as it can go on the audio interface, it just does not have enough gain. It doesn't have enough volume. And I could crank it in software.
Depositing.
Hey, intelligent nonsense. And when I say not enough gain, I mean, like, for it to be usable for recording, I had to bump up the audio by 30 decibels in software.
Mine it.
Which is absurd. And I could only, I mean, it was just, I don't want to have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's this audio interface just kind of weak and it just can't do it. It doesn't have enough gain on it. I don't know. So I went and grabbed my audio interface that I use for the Exploring series, which is a pretty good one. Same exact issue. And I'm like, okay, that seems kind of odd. And I even tried using the slightly busted one. I'm like, maybe this will have enough gain even if it's staticky. But no, that didn't do it either. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Molly carries minerals, and we shoot bugs in mine. More
So I'm like, okay, maybe I could get a cloud lifter, which is just this little metal box. It's like a pass-through, and it just adds like 35 decibels. And it's like, looking online and stuff, like, no one really says you need a cloud lifter with the Heil PR40. But, okay, we'll give it a try.
We got a hell of a blitz.
And I get that in, and it's still not good enough. Everything's cranked. And I run it through, like, I add on my DBX 286S compressor thing that I have, that I don't use anymore, and I add that onto it to try and add some more gain onto it, and it's still, like, not where it should be without software. Like, I still had to run it through, like, Voice Meter to add 4 decibels to get it to usable, and I'm just like, what the fuck is the problem here? I think it may be busted. I mean, at that point, yes, it was usable. But I have to put it, like, right next to my mouth. And I'm just like, this is just not something I want to do. This is just not good. So in the end, I said, fuck it. And I went back to my normal microphone, my Shure SM58. Which is what I'm using right now. And I'm using all the new things I bought. I'm using the cloud lifter. I'm using the shock mount. I'm using the new microphone arm. And I think it all works pretty well. It's all pretty solid. I think I still need to run it through like an EQ plugin. And I don't know why I'm so anal about it. Like, I'm not an audiophile. I'm only making Let's Plays for like 30 people. Like, it really, I could use a headset microphone. It probably wouldn't affect too much. But for some reason, it just pisses me off. Microphones just piss me off. And that makes me want to just make it as good as possible so it doesn't piss me off. And that's where we're at. You love Deep Rock? It really is just a great game. I dismissed it for a long while because it was like, I don't want to mine. Why would I don't play Minecraft. Why would I want to mine? But no, it's just good. I'm not really concentrating because I'm just getting angry about microphones. But yeah.
Go! Get to work!
So that was a lot of my week. Was just futzing around with microphones. But for this channel this week, we had some more StarCraft 2, some more RimWorld. That's pretty much going to continue through the next week. We've still got plenty of best games of all time. The last one I uploaded was... I don't think it was Micro Machines. I'm pretty sure the next one is Street Fighter 2. I know that. And I have not recorded a best game of all time in like months now. The one I was working on was Suikoden 2. And hell is that? I really wanted to like progress pretty far in that game before I made a judgment on it, because it's kind of a legendary RPG I've never played before. Curious how the Street Fighter 2 video goes. Yeah, I don't think it's especially long. All the smoke alarms in my house are going off currently. I will be right back. Okay. Well, I'd say false alarm, but I mean, there was smoke. Smoke alarm did do their job. Just, you know, little cooking mishap. No fire.
Inventory is full.
You know.
Ollie!
Like, all the smoke alarms in my house are, like, linked. So when one goes off, they all go off, and it's just a fucking cacophony.
Completed. Now finish the job.
So that's nice. Well, yeah, I mean, I have been in a house when a fire broke out in the basement. I was in the basement and the fire was upstairs. That was a freaky night. And the whole kitchen burned down. Sure, I told that story at some point. So yeah, my cat. Basically, I went to go feed my cats, like, their lunch. And one of them was not present. Which isn't completely unheard of, but... That where my food channel stopped. No, that fire was, 100% Lego's fault, actually. He, was making french fries at 2 in the morning. And then put on his headphones and forgot about it.
I need to deposit in the
So yeah, my,
I called for the mule.
So the cat was missing. There was nowhere to be seen. And I was like, you know, I asked my parents. They're almost moving back to their house. I'm very excited. I asked them if they'd seen him. They had said they had seen him earlier, and then my dad mentioned that, oh, you know, I went out into the garage and I took the trash out.
Objective has been achieved. Call the drop pod when you're ready to leave.
He didn't say... He didn't see the cat, like, go out with him or anything like that. He just mentioned that he had gone out in the garage to take the trash out. And he had, in the past, accidentally let Mogu out into the garage. So I just started kind of freaking out. And I'm like, okay, well...
Drop pod arrived. Mule is returning to El...
You know, there is certainly a chance that he got outside. We scoured the house, we scoured the garage, couldn't find him anywhere. And so again, at this point, I'm just freaking out, man, because it was the coldest day of the year. Like, with the wind chill and everything, it was... I don't know what temperature it was, but it was the coldest day of the year. It was absolutely frigid out there. And so, you know, I bundled up and I went outside, and I'm just like screaming his name, you know, all over the place, trying to get him, you know, trying to see if he's out there. It's just so fucking cold out there, and like there's a little bit of like woods near my house, so I'm like climbing through the woods in there and like getting brambles, and it was just, oh god, it was so miserable. But it was like, you know, my cat's fucking missing out here in the coldest day of the year. Freaking out. So, and my mom went out as well. And it at the time, it really pissed me off, because my dad just like sat there on the couch with his tablet playing Hearthstone, while, you know, me and my mom are out there like in the coldest weather possible, just yelling and screaming for our cat, who we're worried is dead. And he's just there playing Hearthstone. It really pissed me off. And my mom's just like, oh, well, you know, everyone grieves in their own way. And it's like, fuck that. Get your ass out there and you call his name.
Won't hang around forever.
And it's not like my dad hates this cat. He loves this cat specifically. It's his favorite cat of all time. So it just really pissed me off. Hours go by and we're basically like, okay, I mean, we left the garage door open, we put food in the garage, that's all we can do. But we're like, you know, I've already kind of like, all right, this cat might be dead. I mean, I might have to get a new cat now. It was very like stressful and emotional. It was not a great day. And then like 6 p.m. or something like that, Lego, his wife come over to try and help look for it. And it's like, you know, you're not going to find him out. It's getting dark now. It's going to be, he's a dark cat. It's going to be impossible. First, they decide to just start looking around the house in case we miss something. 10 minutes later, Lego calls from upstairs. He found Mogu. And this fat fucking cat was like jammed. He was in the two brothers' room, in the chairs, in the like middle section of the two chairs. There's like that compartment. You can apparently, there's a big opening behind there that you can go, a cat can go into and be like all up inside that middle section. And the only way you would ever know that is if you lifted it all the way back and then reached your hand all the way in and like felt fur. And that's what he did. And yeah, that's where Mogu was. And this fat fucking cat. I mean, we're sitting there. I shook the treat bag like for like 30 minutes all around the house. We're just calling his name constantly. No, he just snoozed the whole day. So that was great. No, he was not stuck. He was just snoozing. And I did not know that spot existed. Had I known, obviously, I would have checked. But now I know. It had never, like, it had never come up before. He had just gotten, like, the ear mite medication, like, the day before. The Revolution stuff. And because he had some sort of ear infection. And so we suspect that, like, he had never gotten, like, a good night's sleep in his life because of this infection. And so he finally was rid of it, and he was just snoozing his life away. Either way, it was a very just emotional, stressful time. But, yeah, it all worked out. At least I didn't come back in. The cat just sitting on my dad's lap. Yeah. I mean, that was the thing. I just, every time I went upstairs, downstairs, looking around, I just kept on hoping that I would turn a corner and he'd just, like, waltz out. And just, like, it never happened. I was, oh, God. Yeah. Anyways. What was I talking about before? Yeah, this channel. I don't know. Are there any interesting Let's Play or any interesting games coming out I could... You know, I don't do too much new stuff. I should really... There's just not... Hogwarts Legacy's coming out in a month. Is anyone interested in me Let's Playing that? I'm not really a Harry Potter guy. And then there's all like the issues with J.K. Rowling and stuff. And I was just like, I don't know. If it gets absolutely rave reviews, I'll probably get it, but... I don't know, just like looking at what's new and what's upcoming, and there's just a lot of like survival stuff, battle royale stuff, tower defense stuff. Just a lot of indies right now. How am I liking Chained Echoes? I still have not recorded any more of it. Again, part of that was due to my microphone bullshit. I didn't record anything. But, I don't know. Because I was also in the middle of, like, recording Dawn of War 2. I'm like, I really should finish Dawn of War 2. But yeah, Chained Echoes would probably just be a solid option. I'm just a not too lengthy single player experience. Did I try out Hearts of Iron 4 yet? I did. I fired it up. And did kind of the tutorial thing-ish. Just to try and learn some of the mechanics and stuff. It seems pretty interesting. I haven't really dived into it too much. It definitely seems like there's plenty going on. Compared to Stellaris. I don't know. These kind of games, I don't know the sort of let's playability of them. Games like Stellaris, Hearts of Iron 4, what was another one I was just thinking of? Like Total War. I've been playing Warhammer 40k Gladius, and I was like, maybe I should do a let's play of that, but I don't know. It just these kind of like lengthy strategy games where it's not like a crafted single player experience. I don't know if anyone's too excited about any of that. I don't know. HOI 4 has a very good Fallout mod. Ooh. That's pretty interesting.
That's pretty. One down. Yes. No.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what people are really interested. And people still seem to be watching my RimWorld stuff, so that's kind of encouraging, because I also want to record more RimWorld stuff.
Yeah.
I've really been sleeping on Cataclysm. I have not recorded Cataclysm stuff in quite a while.
Like that. Damn, that's unfortunate.
Watching people manage their war economy on pause every 6 seconds might not be everyone's cup of tea. Yeah.
Yeah. Not again.
I mean, 40k Gladius is a little bit more like fast paced. There's a lot of like battles that just aren't like micromanaging kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's a pretty good game. I've been enjoying it. But yeah, the big complex stuff, it's hard to say. Really enjoying the RimWorld. RimWorld's, yeah, it's one of the best. It's one of the best. I'd have to just record more RimWorld. I also was, just today, I was like, I should record a Let's Play of The Dig.
Watch and learn.
It's a point-and-click adventure game from the 90s. Steven Spielberg was involved. I don't know to what capacity he was involved in that game, but that was definitely like heavily marketed, that Steven Spielberg's name was attached to it, which, in the 90s for a point-and-click adventure game, or any game, and Steven Spielberg, oh man. I'm sure that's why we owned it. But it was ridiculously difficult for me as a kid. So I'd like to kind of take another look at it It was a pretty unique way. Like, it was very serious. It was like a movie, you know, like a sci-fi film. It was not in the vein of Monkey Island or King's Quest or anything. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not at threat of running out of videos to upload, so it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah. And then normally I'd talk about the Exploring series, but not a whole lot to say. Monday I uploaded The Wicker Witch Lives. Saw a lot of comments. You know, it's funny, like, you talk to like boomers or something. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people have the impression of like Gen Z and Zoomers as being like really woke. And, you know, being really like politically correct and all this kind of stuff. But no, I don't think that's really the case. They got a lot of comments on the Wicker Witch. I didn't read that many, but I saw a lot of comments that were just kind of like really hateful. That this was like a lesbian witch. And there were a lot of I mean, you know, YouTube comments. I mean, let's be real, but it was just a lot of stuff like, you know, she just done as she was told and you know, stuck with her man. This wouldn't have happened. Yeah, it's just a lot of like really just ugly, hateful comments. So, you know, I don't know. And it's like, okay, well, that's SCP. It's this sort of immature, younger audience. But then if I go into 40K, like, oh God, talking about hateful and immature, pretty much sums up most 40K fans, it seems. So I don't know. There's a reason I don't read many YouTube comments. So yeah, I think tomorrow I'll be just putting out the combined video for past and future, probably, maybe. Something combined, something I've already done in the past. And that's pretty much it. Surprised to hear that about 40K.
Gravity recalibration completed.
Yeah, I mean,
Reports foreign
it's bad enough where Games Workshop
Would you
had to put out like a notice saying like, hey, you know, the Imperium of Mankind, they're not the good guys. You shouldn't try to emulate them or you know, like revere their principles. Right? Like they're not good. This sort of like puritanical prejudice and intolerance, it's not something you want to emulate. But you know, you even on like my Discord, you go to like the 40K channel on there, you get plenty of like Deus Vult kind of shit and just, you know, death to any you know, the average 40K fan, you mention like furries to them or something, and they're just like, okay, how can I express my hatred in as violent a way as possible? 40k is just all grimdark all the time, not protagonists. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, I could see how someone, no protagonist, yeah, someone misguided could just look at 40k and be like, okay, these are the humans, so they're the good guys. Because that's, you know, okay, it's just any sort of science fiction, you look at humanity, they're the ones that you relate to, because you're also a human. You know, I'm not incredibly knowledgeable of Mass Effect. I've only played through the games like once, but, you know, humanity in there is like the plucky underdogs. And the main character is very much, you know, a human. Trying to do the good, right thing. Or, I mean, when I played it, at least. So, yeah, I could see how someone could just be like, okay, these are the 40k human, the Imperium of Mankind, they're the good guys, everyone else is evil and wrong and horrible. And it's just, no, the humans are also evil and wrong and horrible, just in a different way. Even the Tau were, like, you know, racially inclusive. They're also evil and wrong and horrible. Just not, you know... you know, they'll still kick your ass, but they'll ask you if it's like, if you want to join them first. Otherwise, there's going to be an ass kicking. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not looking forward to that aspect of covering 40k again, but I like the setting.
I slipped!
I like the tech, you know, I like all that sort of stuff. I like the different factions. It's just something we gotta deal with. Anywho, probably about all there is to say. We've been trying to get... There was a thought next Friday, the 13th, of doing, of having some people come over and us actually playing the 40k tabletop game. I've been printing a boatload of terrain on my 3D printer. It's really been like the best use of it so far. I've been pretty pleased with the terrain. It looks good. I mean, it's one color, so it's not great, but it's very much serviceable, and you can absolutely tell like what each terrain is and all that sort of stuff, and it has different like levels to it, and it's good. But getting people together is just, oh god, brutal. It's brutal, man. So I don't know if it's gonna happen. I still have to go to my parents' house to try and find like the armies that I had bought a couple years ago. Used to feel that way about the older God of War games. No one was likable. Well, the little girl was, right? In God of War 2 or 3, wasn't there like Pandora or something? She was likable. Probably like the only likable character that wasn't just a piece of shit. Oh, I did finish God of War Ragnarok. I don't think I mentioned that at any point. I did finish it. The ending was kind of just like... I don't know, non-committal? I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. It was like fine, but for a game called God of War Ragnarok, you expect something to be pretty explosive at the end. And I don't know, it was just like... just kind of ended. And then that was that. What did I think compared to the one before? Oh, gosh. I'd probably say I liked it better. A little bit, but not to a great degree. I think they're pretty similar games. I think they're both bloated. I think there's both just like this kind of open world plague of we need 70 hours of content here, find something to do. I think if both games were 20 hours long, they'd be fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it got to the point where it's just like, I don't want to do any side stuff. I'm just walking past all this shit. Just show me the ending, you know? And then after you beat the game, it's like, hey, look at all this other stuff you can do now. Look at all these awesome side things you can continue to do now, and more side things that have now unlocked for you. Go do them. It's just like, fuck off. You know, every time I replay through Chrono Trigger, I always do all the side missions, because there's like 5 of them or something like that. And it doesn't take that long, and they're just nice, and then it's done. Whereas, like, the thought of replaying through God of War or God of War Ragnarok is just mind-numbing.
Bartender, I need a round of oily oats, ice cold and foamy. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a hard... It depends, I guess. It's a hard recommendation, because it's very long. There's a lot of games out there in the world. There's a lot of games out there to play. And so, you'd have to really like God of War to want to invest that much time and energy. I mean, they're gonna make another God of War, almost certainly. And I'll probably get it, but I don't think I'd even think about Let's Playing it, because it's just too much, and it's just not... There's just so much, well, especially for a Let's Play, there's just so much talking. Like, nobody ever shuts the fuck up in those games. And it's just, I don't like that. I don't like doing Let's Plays where there's an excessive amount of talking, because that's what I'm here for. I'm the talker. You have OCD for JRPGs, you feel like you have to do everything, but only in that style of game. No, I mean, I generally have that kind of mindset of wanting to do everything in like an open world game, and that generally causes me to get like bored, and then I stop playing the game. The only reason I like push forward God of War Ragnarok is like I need to know how this game ends. I was really desperate, so I had to just like, all right, fuck it, I'm skipping stuff. That's very uncommon for me. Like, I played through Spider-Man on the PS4, and I did everything. And then I replayed it on PC this year, and I, again, did everything. And now I'm playing through Miles Morales, doing everything, but the game keeps fucking crashing on me, so I've kind of lost interest. Yeah. I still need to play Horizon Forbidden West. I'm not very far in that game. I need to go back to it, but there's just, like, so much to do. Yeah. Alright, I think it's about dinner time, so I'm gonna wrap up here. So more StarCraft 2, more RimWorld. I'll probably end up recording more RimWorld. So that'll never end. You know, combined video over on the Exploring series that you probably have already seen, I would imagine. Or maybe not. And that'll be that. More Two Brothers Play next Saturday and some more best games of all time. But thanks to you guys for chatting with me. It's always nice. My name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. I'll see you fine folks next week.